Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my first impressions review of Peach Boy Riverside. So, this is a new anime airing this season, and I saw a brief trailer for it in, I believe it was GR Kata's video regarding anime of the season, and it seemed interesting, so I wanted to check it out. And after the first episode, I can say it's not that good, but in the best possible way. It is so ridiculous, it is so on the nose and over the top that it's actually kind of fun. It's really enjoyable. So our story follows this, from what we can tell, from what we're told, this former princess who is out on an adventure. We can see that she's searching for someone. She's trying to find a specific person, and along her journey, she ends up meeting a hairfolk demi-human named Frau. Um, and Frau is very, very kind, very like lovely, just this very nice hairfolk, just really, really likable, super likable. But every time she enters this village or talks to anyone in a village or whatnot about demi-humans, there's this vitriolic bigotry present. Humanity seems to hate and fear demi-humans, seeing them as savage and violent by nature. It's blatant racism. It is very blatant racism. It's so over the top and so on the nose that it's very obvious what they're trying to go for here. But because of the difference with how we actually see Frau is, we actually care about it, and we actually care about how people are treating Frau and others like Frau, and it because of that contrast with the character that we know and how other people see demi-humans, even though it is so blatantly over the top and really on the nose, we can get behind it. And especially when our main character gets really angry at the people who are thinking and acting like this. She finds this racism really upsetting, and she stands by and sticks up for Frau on multiple occasions. We see one example of a place she ends up staying. While Frau is disguised, she ends up staying with this lord of a village in his mansion. And she even talks to him about, like, oh, what do you think of demi-humans? And he says the same kind of thing. But the next morning, the village is under attack from an ogre. And I think the translation I got was a little off. I think it was probably meant to be Oni rather than ogre. um, but either way, I'll say Oni for the sake of this. But the village is under attack by an Oni. And in this world, they're not like just your typical Oni designs. They basically are animalistic Oni. So this Oni is attacking the village, and it seems like the girl, who I can't remember her name, I apologize, she's going to be in danger, so Frau has to come and save her. And Frau manages to defeat the Oni barehanded, which is, from what we're told in the episode, a feat, a pretty notable feat. And everybody's shocked and afraid because, demi-human and racism and everything. But then Frau bows to the Lord, thanking him for the carrots that he gave to her before knowing she was a demi-human and all, back the night before. And this actually does seem to kind of change his outlook a little bit, because even after the fact, he seems shocked by her politeness and kindness and everything. And he even like as the girl and Frau are heading out, he even says, like, they just thanked me and saved this girl. It's like, what's going on here? This isn't like what we're told. This isn't what our biases support. um, but the two of them end up going to this walled off city, I guess not far away, presumably, and they're taken there by these knights who saw what happened in the village. At first, they're arrested, but they are let go because there's no actual crime that was committed or anything. And the commander is actually a pretty cool guy. He makes it obvious that he used to be biased against demi-humans, but after seeing what happened, it actually changed his mind, and he is actually okay with them after that. Which is, again, it's really silly because it's like, okay, his mind changed just that easily and quickly. That's a little unbelievable, but whatever. So he spends some time. He's gonna like make it back to them by giving them lunch and everything. But a couple more Oni come and start to attack the town. And oh yeah, this series has some pretty notable gore. We see one of the Oni in particular come into the town and start attacking guards and stuff, and like, oh my god, there is like very gruesome depth in this. And the thing is, prior to this scene, there was no hint that it was going to be like that. But then when this scene comes and the Oni starts killing all these people, it's like, oh my god, that's horrific. That's actually horrific. Um, Frau tries to fight it, but isn't strong enough, even with a bit of a weapon. And that is when the girl comes along, and we had seen hints of this prior, like when the Oni was attacking the village. But she kind of goes off and absolutely obliterates the Oni's arm using some kind of power. And it like gives this story about like this peach that washed down the river and everything. And it's kind of like, okay, so did she eat a peach that gave her superpowers or something? Um, it's like telling about this legend of something called Peach Boy, about this boy who ate a peach and everything. And I don't remember the entire thing or whatnot, but I don't know if that's like a real like Japanese folklore tale or anything. I don't know. Um, but it might be interesting to look into. But either way, she has these powers and she is able to take on that Oni barehanded. The episode kind of just ends there. And honestly, the episode kind of just began. It didn't really have a true like opening or closing. It just kind of, and the closing, yeah, it ended really suddenly because it's like, yeah, it's going to continue next episode. That was like the big shocker at the end of the episode, and she has these powers and all. But the way it opened very much the same way too, where it's just like, oh, it just starts. It's like, oh, okay. This surprised me in a really good way. I really enjoyed it, and even though it was so like on the nose, I thought it was fun. The characters are likable, and even with the topics they touch on being so obvious in what they're going for, it does truly feel like you can get behind them still. It doesn't feel like it's too like in where they're trying too hard that you can't just that you just can't get into it, that you don't like believe it. No, it does feel genuine still. And maybe it is because of the characters being likable, especially Frau. Also in the episode, I believe Frau, at least in the subtitles I had, Frau was referred to with they them pronouns the entire time. And it's never really made clear like if Frau is supposed to be female or male or non-binary or whatever. Though they do wear a female sailor like school uniform, like the very stereotypical Japanese school uniform for girls and all, which is like okay. um but yeah, at least in the subtitles I had, Frau was referred to as they them, so I'm going to refer to well, I've been referring to them as them, and until I see anything otherwise, that's probably how I'll keep referring to them in the future. And I'm fine with that. I think it works. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I like the characters. The story is interesting, and I definitely want to know more. And it actually has a surprising amount of intensity in it, especially with the gore, which I really did not expect. I really enjoyed it. I really did. Um, this is definitely one I will continue watching on my own time, though. I think I want to just enjoy this one for myself rather than like think about reacting to it in the future. So we'll just kind of go from there. Maybe I'll make a review on it when I finish it. I don't even know how many episodes it's going to end up being, but maybe I'll make a review if I feel like it really impressed me. We'll see. But if you have seen the first episode of Peach Boy Riverside, please tell me in the comments below what you thought of it. And if you know the source material, like if it's a manga or whatnot, and you know like what's going to happen, no spoilers. But in the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.